Good morning, everybody. Welcome to CW Live, a very special Count Me In National Day of Action. I can already see hundreds of you piling on, which is great, in the top left-hand corner. My screen always gives us a real boost early doors. We also know many of you across BT Group and Openreach will be working at this time, so of course this recording will remain on screen all of today. So today is another step in the Count Me In campaign. I'm delighted to be joined by our Deputy General Secretary for Telecoms and Financial Services, Andy Kerr. Good morning, Andy.
Hi, Chris.
And also we've got President of the CW, Karen Rose. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning.
So we're going to get an update on the negotiations from Andy and Karen. We're going to get some information to our branches, which is actually critical, and we're going to get a call to arms to our members. So we're not looking to be on for more than 15 to 20 minutes, but hopefully there's some critical information that you're going to receive today. What you can do is in the comments, let us know you're still with the union. Put Count Me in the comments. Let us know you're still backing us. Let us know you're still with us, because that's a massive boost, and it sends a signal to management, who undoubtedly will be watching this session as they watch every other one. So whilst you're piling into the comments, and I'll put the best of those on the screen, I'm going to ask Andy Kerr, our Deputy General Secretary, to set the scene. Over to you, Andy.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks to everybody who's joining us today. And I think this is one of the first Facebook Live since the ballot results. So another big thank you to everybody who took part in that. It's really important that you did. So thank you for that. Really, since then, we've been trying to negotiate with the company, and we have opened up some dialogue with the company on a number of areas, basically into 6 sort of key areas with the company. I don't have necessarily time to get through every single part of it today in this call, but really to say that, have we made progress? Well, in some aspects, we have made some progress, but a little while to go. But in those areas, we probably could and get to an agreed issue with a bit of work on both sides on that. But really, what the issue is, there's two main areas where we are finding it really difficult. In fact, we're at an impasse, I think would be fair to say. We have asked the company on redundancy. We've asked them for a moratorium, a pause, if you like, for a period of time while we're trying to negotiate our way through and get to an agreement between us. The company have basically refused. They've refused to put in place that moratorium, and that it causes us major concern. So unless we can get movement on that from the company, that issue in itself will not be able to progress. So we are at a really a pivotal moment, if you like, in discussions. And in a couple of other areas, there's real problems. But the other one that's come into it in the last few days and few weeks is the issue of pay, because it is crucial that this is the time of year we normally discuss pay with the company, and it is clear that to get a deal through in all the aspects that we're discussing with the company, pay would have to feature in that in some way. And what we've got from that, we have not got any formal proposal for the company on pay, but what quite clearly the indications from the company at this point in time is really potentially there'll be no pay rise, or at best a very small amount, looking as they do to CPI, which is sitting at 0.6, 0.7. So it gives you a kind of idea of where the company's thinking is, and that's far short of what we think you deserve. You've been key workers in this pandemic over the last year. You've done a tremendous job out there in the field, in the contact centres, in the offices, and all the work it's done for BT, not just to keep this company going, but to keep the UK going. That's the work that you've done. And to be treated this way by the company is an absolute disgrace. So we are at an impasse with the company. We will continue, as you would expect us to do, we will continue to discuss these matters with the company over the next few weeks. But I have to say now that we are reaching crunch time. And the next couple of weeks or so are going to be absolutely crucial to us. Now, we will try our best to negotiate our way through this, but if we can't get there, we are going to have to come back to you. We are going to have to come back and ask you to ballot again and record your vote. So hopefully you keep on board, keep in contact with your branches. We will, over the next few weeks, make sure the messages get out to you as much as possible, any updates and negotiations, etc. But please keep on board. You've done a tremendous job so far, and let's stick together. Thanks.
Thank you, Karen. I'm going to let you get across any opening messages to the members that you want to at this point.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Well, as Andy's already outlined, obviously this is the first live broadcast we've done since we announced the ballot results. And Andy has also explained that we've been in negotiations since then. But what's been absolutely fantastic for us to see while we've been doing that is the way that the branches and all of our members out there are keeping on board with the Count Me In campaign, and they've kept the activity running and going. And what's even more brilliant is the number of volunteers we've seen step forward from our ordinary member population when we've asked for campaign ambassadors to step forward. So volunteers to just be a point of contact for us and to be able to just be the lead person amongst their team members and their, their teammates, I should say, and send those CWU messages. So what's been fantastic, if we've already got an absolute army of people who have come forward to volunteer to be those people, there is room for everybody. So we're not full up. We're not one of those organisations that only has a limited number of people allowed. So there's plenty of room for as many volunteers that want to come forward. And now would be the time to do it, because I think Andy has outlined already this morning that we are in a situation where we are coming to a point where decisions will have to be made, and they won't be easy decisions for us to make, but we don't take these things lightly. And if that point comes, then we quite clearly need to have all of our branches and all of our members ready for an industrial action ballot, because that is what it will come to if we're not able to find our way through this. So there's a couple of things that branches need to do as well. Is obviously we've got, if we do come to an industrial action ballot, we've got legislation that we need to get over. There's several hurdles in that we need to ensure that we're on top of, we jump over clearly. So that what's important now is that every single member of ours out there in BT make sure that their home address details are up to date. This is an opportunity for branches to make sure over the next couple of weeks that they are keeping their records absolutely bang up to date. We know that all of this work has been ongoing anyway, but as I said, it's an opportunity the next few weeks to continue to do that, because if we do come to the point where we need to make that decision, then quite clearly any work that's done now over the next couple of weeks will be a bonus, because it'll be stuff that's in the bag that doesn't have to be done at that point. So I think it's time. I think the message today is it's time to prepare really for taking that ultimate decision to ballot for industrial action, because sadly that is where we will end up if we're unable to make progress over the next few weeks.
Thank you, Karen. Fantastic. Andy, obviously, I think both yourself and Karen have laid it out, crystal clear there, some progress, but not enough. And we're moving towards a ballot. I think, that's the message towards our members and branches, and get yourself ready for it, clearly. But I mean, in a more sort of positive light, members will be thinking like, well, we've given a consultative ballot, we haven't been able to move them. But the reality is, that show of strength got us back in the room, has made the progress that you detailed in your update today and Karen's update today. What we need them to do now, surely, is, prepare to give us another show, a stronger show of support, so we can get more significant moves. Is that what we're heading towards here with our members and what we need from them?
Oh, I think undoubtedly, Chris, that's the position. We have managed to get back in negotiations, and that tremendous ballot result did help. And I think the message I tried to put across to the company, because what the company was saying to me in the ballot result was, "Oh yes, Andy, good result, I suppose, for the CWU, but people voted for that for different reasons." My answer to them was, yes, you're probably right. They did vote for different reasons. But what it does say is that 75% of your team member workforce are unhappy with how this company is being run at this point in time. And that's if the company want to just disregard 3/4 of the workforce, well, they do it at their peril, in my opinion. So yes, we may have to show it again, feels a strength to the company to drag them back. But I think the issue for us at the moment, we seem to be, certainly my perception is in negotiations with the company, dealing with the people who we normally deal with in these type of negotiations, that the people we're dealing with are negotiating with us with their arms tied behind their back by other senior managers who are restricting the discussions, restricting the issues that need to be addressed in those negotiations. So that is a real difficulty for us. So let's put the blame where it should be. It's that senior operational managers in each of the lines of business are responsible for where we are today. And if I can use this session, Chris, to say something, I mean, I was astounded to see the article a couple of weeks ago in the Mail on Sunday with an interview of Philip Johnson, the CEO, who I believe is a decent person. But to say that he's making people redundant and doing it in a professional manner, doing it with elegance. I've never heard such a term used for making anybody redundant in my life, and doing it in a classy way. That shows you that he's out of touch with his membership. His team member workforce. To make anybody redundant at this point in time is an absolute disgrace, especially for the company. Yes, its revenues might be down. Yes, its profits might be down slightly, but it's a very, very profitable company and will go on to be a very profitable company in the years to come. And this is not the time to do it. We've got people who, yes, want to leave the company voluntary, and we've got people who have been put at risk of redundancy who want to stay. It doesn't take a genius to work out what's the best route to take, but the company have taken the wrong route.
I've muted myself. Thank you, Andy. That's fantastic. And I can see by the comments from the members, you really hit a note there, and they understand the point that you're putting across there, and they agree with it, and I think they feel it as well, particularly with the comment you made about the elegance, the grace with people walking out the door. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Karen, I want to come to you. You talked about just in your opening contribution, the need for us to, get the data right. Obviously Andy has previously talked about the reality is of a big union like ours with 40,000+ members with hundreds of workplaces, BT will be doing everything to try and, trip us up legally. We've got now the next few weeks. How vital is it that both our members make sure that their home addresses and their details are right with the branches, and our branches do that with the members? How critical is that work in the coming 2 to 3 weeks?
Well, it couldn't be more critical. It is absolutely vital. There is no doubt about it. That is probably the most important thing that we now need to make sure that we've got in place, because quite clearly, if we run an industrial action ballot, having the records absolutely as good as we can possibly get them is absolutely vital in order for us to avoid falling foul of the legal hurdles that we've got to leap over. So every single member. So what I would say is to all of the members listening, talk to all of your teammates, right? Talk to each other. Make sure that you all know that any little change in your personal details, whether you've moved house or changed your name or any of these things, they need to be informed to your local branch as soon as possible. And today, tomorrow, don't leave it. Don't wait until 2 weeks or 3 weeks time, or, it needs to be done. So do it straight away. It's really important that we have accurate and up-to-date records. And I know that, look, some people have said, and I think this is probably quite an important note, an awful lot of our members pay their union subscription directly from their wages. So there are people who have actually said to us that they think that if they update the records, the BT records, their work records, that automatically transfers through to the CWE records. Well, that's not the case. So if you move house, you don't just need to tell the employer you need to tell the union as well. So we need those up-to-date home address details to be bang on, absolutely right, as soon as possible. The branches have been doing an awful lot of work around this. We know they have. They've been doing it for months, actually. So, you know, there is an awful lot of work that has gone on in the background. But like I said, it does mean if we are in a position where we do need to have an industrial action ballot, though that's all got to be done again, because it has to be absolutely up to date and accurate. So I'll apologise now on behalf of any of the branches that are calling the members and asking the same questions the members might think they've been asked in the last month or two. And I'll apologise in advance, but this is absolutely necessary. I cannot stress the importance of this enough, really. It has to be done. Records are key.
Thank you, Karen. What I'm going to do now is give you both a moment or so just to sum up and get any final points across to the members. I think it's been an excellent session. We've had thousands of people online. We've had hundreds of messages of support, commitments for voting yes, commitments for people saying, count me in. So thank you to everyone who's done that. First of all, Andy, if I could, just to give Karen a moment or so to take a breath and think of her final thoughts. If I could come to you for any final messages you want to get across.
Well, I think, just finally, again, thanks to all our members for trusting in ourselves, the CW, the union, and showing the company what we think about them. As Karen's been saying there, the next couple of weeks are crucial to us. But there is potentially other people watching this today. Let me make it clear, it's not the issue that we have to wait for weeks, months, or whatever. As far as a battle with the company is concerned, if the company want a battle, they can continue doing what they're doing in negotiations. In other words, not moving on redundancy, etc. That's a matter for them, their decision. But let me make it clear: the CW is ready. We are ready to go into a battle if that's what it takes. We are hoping it doesn't. It's not my way of working. It's always been my view that the best way to do things is through negotiations. But if you're negotiating with people with arms tied behind their back, when you're negotiating with senior people in the company, not even considering some of the points we're making to them, some of the absolutely legitimate and logical points we're putting to them, if they're just discarding it completely out of hand, well, that is a matter for them. You see, the thing is, even if this gets to a bad stage, all those people don't care. I don't believe they care about team members. Their position is they'll just leave, probably some a large amount of money in their back pocket, and go and do the dirty deeds in some other company. Our people, it's about their livelihoods and redundancy. People who are getting put on the, there is no jobs out there. There's an economic downturn in this country, and it ain't coming back for a little while. So people who are getting made redundant have got little or no chance of getting other jobs in this country. And this company should start to wake up to it. They've got a moral responsibility to the people who've been working and creating the profits in this company for many, many years. It's now time for this company to stand by their team members and not discard them and throw them in the rubbish heap. So we are ready. And if the company want a battle, I'm certainly, more than willing to lead that battle.
Thanks, crystal clear there from Andy. Karen, I'm going to come to you for your final messages to our members and branches.
I think Andy has covered it really. And I think the one thing that I will say is this: this is a fantastic union. It's an absolutely brilliant union that's got a fantastic track record of looking after its membership and always absolutely coming out with some really strong agreements that look after its members. And we're in a situation now that we've not been in for decades, basically, where we're not able at this moment in time to find a way through. And this union is a fantastic union because of the fantastic members we've got out there. And I think Andy has covered it a few times when he's been speaking today, saying our members are key workers out there. And they have kept this country going in terms of the broadband, and which loads of people have been relying on far more throughout the pandemic, right? And they deserve, all of you, all of the membership, you deserve far more respect than we feel you're being shown at this moment in time. And so what I will say to you is this: thank you for your solidarity. Thank you for your support, right? Keep it up, and we can win this battle.
Thank you, Karen. That's fantastic. So just leaves me to say thank you to both of you for coming on and getting your messages across to the members. I think it's been a really good session. Really surprised at the amount of people watching it. We know many of you will be in work, so a few messages. Please share the link. We'll send it out via the WhatsApp broadcast and email, but please share the link with your colleagues. Tag them in so when they're on their break or they finish work today, they can watch it. I think in summary, from us guys, is a really, really big moment coming for the union. So everyone, our branches from headquarters and the members need to get ready for that. So we will be regularly updating you throughout the process. But if there's a branch meeting in your area today, please attend it and enjoy the National Day of Action. So thank you from us guys, and we'll see you later.